Where are we? So what do you have?
I have the Facebook. The
or IN3 Facebook?
Yeah.
I'm on my personal Facebook. What are you on?
I'm on IG, IN3.
IN3 Instagram. So guys, we are live on every channel right now. And we got an actual camera going on for some YouTube action tonight. Okay, so here we go. 19.1. Cam and I were training tonight. While it happened, I happened to start scrolling the gram and saw that actually CrossFit back on the bar here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Shout out to Justin Baumgartner. He posted the workout and I looked at it and instantly was like, well, that's stupid. That was like my first response.
Super technical.
But we shouldn't be surprised. In typical CrossFit format, it is very doable for virtually every person. There's pretty much nobody that can't do a wall ball. There's pretty much nobody that can't row a calorie.
Speak for yourself.
Very few people are gonna have to scale this one. So I think CrossFit achieved what they wanted. Now I guess the real question becomes, are we gonna see a shift here where the open is far less technical and it is quote unquote for everybody? I guess we'll see how the 5 weeks unfold. I guess that's the drama that they wanted to bring. So full transparency, I did not see the open announcement. Teddy told me Sam Briggs defeated Stephen Fawcett.
There was another athlete.
And maybe there was one more person, but Sam Briggs won. So, and so, yeah, so I really don't have any, I don't have any visual as to how this played out. This is straight off my head and this is straight looking at it. So this might evolve tonight. Obviously, guys, I will post up the final fuel strategy tomorrow morning as I've had more time to think about it. But so many people have already texted me and reached out to me and asked, like, what do I do? What do I do? So I thought that I would try to give you a little something tonight. So when I look at this workout, first things first, it just looks like a class workout. Like this looks like a classic CrossFit couplet. Obviously leg intensive, stronger individuals that can do 150 wall balls unbroken. I don't think that the legs are gonna get ultra fatigued. Obviously the rate of breathing is gonna get really high, but if you've been conditioning up until this point, this workout is really about knowing yourself. So a couple things we need to establish. There's not a lot that I feel like you need to do tonight or tomorrow before you go into the session. This isn't going to require extra fuel. Remember, if you've been periodizing properly, if you've been following everything we put out, macros applied, like the whole periodization strategy that we give you guys, you know that stepping foot into this workout, you did your due diligence in the off season, you've been ramping your carbohydrates concurrent with adding energy system work back in to the preseason. So we know we're in a good place. We haven't done anything super intensive recently to like really deplete glycogen levels. Our nervous system should be on point. Right now, you should be at a phenomenal place to step foot and really give a good first attempt here. This workout is so hard to talk about from a fuel strategy. Like I literally, right before we went live, I looked at Cameron, I looked at Teddy, I'm like, what the fuck do I even say? Like this is standard CrossFit. So about 90 minutes to 2 hours, I am gonna recommend that you get a protein carbohydrate meal. This is not one that you're gonna wanna eat a lot close to. So for those of you guys that are used to doing 30 minutes, 60 minutes before you train, especially if you're used to lifting heavy, I would not in any way recommend that. I would recommend eating maybe 20 to 30 minutes further away from your workout than you're used to. Obviously, we know closer to a fasted state is going to, empirically, right? There's no science that I've seen on this, but empirically it says you're gonna be able to breathe a little bit better at high intensity. We've seen a lot of these things come to fruition. This is why early morning fasted cardio works so well. Everyone's able to breathe through these things. So that's one thing I definitely recommend. I don't think that this isn't like a powerful type workout. Your ability to row 15 calories, it's not gonna be how quickly you can row them. It's just gonna be literally moving. So doing this workout earlier in the day is probably advisable. You're not gonna need a lot of food in you. In fact, that's just going to probably hamper breathing. That being said, if you're used to training in the afternoon, don't change it just on my account here. But those of you guys that are used to doing aerobic work in the morning, it may not be a bad time to do that. So again, 90 minutes, 2 hours before you train, protein, carbohydrate, low fiber, low fat, something that digests very easily. Make sure your blood sugar is stable, stepping foot in there. You do want to be a little bit hungry stepping foot into this workout. So don't be afraid if you walk into the gym setting and you're a little bit hungry. Super normal. That means cortisol is beginning to elevate. That's putting you in that sympathetic state, that fight or flight type mode where your body is going to be able to perform at its peak. If you've done the periodization properly, you're in a position where that will be advantageous. If you have not done periodization properly, that will not be advantageous. So make sure you know who you are. Secondly, intra-workout, nothing, guys. You should not be stopping intra-workout to be sipping carbohydrates. This literally should be, transitions, controlled transitions. I don't want to say fast transitions, but controlled and smooth transitions to and from the stations. I'm a person that likes to let my heart rate naturally come down between movements. So I know a lot of the technique people that are gonna put out WODs are gonna say, make sure your rower's right next to your wall ball station. I'm gonna counter that and say that a little bit of locomotion between movements may actually help you naturally keep the heart rate down, allow you to remember to breathe between movements, get through that. Obviously, guys, there's a significant emphasis here on the legs. Legs are the largest muscle group in the body. We know they're gonna take a beating. We know that from the bodybuilding days, leg day was always the most central nervous system stimulating. This is the first time that you're truly gonna hit absolute threshold. You're gonna leave it all on the floor. So the nervous system impact from this workout is going to be high. I know it's not overly heavy. So, from a classic standpoint, we wouldn't think of this as a typical CNS demanding workout, but you guys are gonna be pushing hard in those last few minutes, trying to get every rep you can, trying to get every calorie you can on the rower. And I do see this actually leaving people pretty fucked. So I am going to recommend in week 1, an extra 25 to 30 grams of carbohydrate immediately post-workout, solely predicated on the fact this is the first time a lot of you guys are really going to that deep water. It's the first time that you guys are really going super deep in your sympathetic nervous system. And we want to make sure, remember, this is a 5-week competition. We want to make sure that you're absolutely recovered, that you have taken the time to to make sure that your nervous system's on point. And a lot of you guys are going to want to repeat this. I do see this one being repeatable. Obviously, there'll be some delayed onset muscle soreness in the legs, but I think if you guys go with a Friday, Monday approach, it's definitely doable twice. I don't think it's going to leave you so fried to where you can't get up and get moving on Monday. So I definitely believe that. At post-workout, 25-30 grams. And then I'm not really going to tell you that I think you need an extra amount of carbohydrates onto the day. So, for those of you guys that are tracking your macros, add in that extra scoop of carbohydrates post-workout, 25 to 30 grams. Don't count that towards your macros. Or if you do, increase your macros by 25 to 30 grams of carbs for the day. That should be sufficient here in week 1. Remember, you're coming in, glycogen is saturated. Again, going back to things we said earlier, you haven't depleted yourself, you haven't put yourself in a negative state, so everything is in a good place. So no need to overload. If you feel an abundance of soreness the next day and you feel like you need to move, consider adding some extra food. The one thing that I would say here is we know there's going to be a significant amount of inflammation. Okay, so anytime you're taxing a muscle group directly over and over like you're going to do with rowing and wall balls, we are going to see a lot of inflammation here. So consider that when you're selecting food choices after the workout on Friday, during the day Saturday, during the day Sunday, in preparation for fueling Monday. Any foods you know to be inflammatory for you or that you don't typically react well to, you're gonna want to avoid in this phase. Now, again, in typical performance continuums, we think food quality is secondary to quantity, which is absolutely true. But if we know there's going to be localized inflammation, and if we know we're going to need maximum effort from a specific muscle group, then it does make sense to look at food quality throughout the weekend to make sure we're in a good state to revisit this on Monday. Obviously, guys, standard protocols, hydration needs to be up to par. Make sure you're supplementing with all the normal supplements. Fish oil, magnesium are essential this time of year. I definitely would get on a good glutamine regimen, not for muscle recovery, but for gut health. Probably 20 grams of glutamine per day, 5 grams in the morning, 5 grams pre and post workout, 5 grams before bed. If you're on a probiotic, great. I wouldn't just start one now, but obviously we know the GI is going to take a hit these 5 weeks, so start doing that. Make sure you're getting your sleep, and everything else is on point, guys. This is a really, really simple workout. If you have followed us for any period of time, you are absolutely prepared. Every strategy we have given you relative to how to fuel a workout, how to recover from a workout, it's literally exactly how you're going to treat this. So I don't feel like we need to necessarily change anything. I don't feel like I need to give you anything different. Just be confident, go in, stay controlled, and crush shit, man. Like, you guys put in a year full of work. I haven't done shit, and I'll probably try it, and I'll suck. So I can't wait to hear how much you guys kick my fucking ass. But you know, the truth is this: like, this workout, like I said in the beginning, anybody can do it, which is kind of exciting and kind of boring. But depending on where you're at, like, it's the start of the open, so we all got to do it. I'm gonna hang out here live on Facebook. If anyone has any specific questions, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes, you know, YouTube, you can pick this up. You know, Instagram and Facebook for IN3, they can pick it up. Guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Obviously, like I said, I'm gonna sleep on this a little bit more and see if anything kind of comes to me. If it does, I'll post it up first thing in the morning. If you guys are not on the list, in3nutrition.com. Make sure you sign up for our email list, because we email these protocols out Friday morning. We email out the night before what to do the day of, what to do that night, what to do the next day, and any subsequent repeats. It's something we've been doing for 2 to 3 years now. It's helped a lot of people move themselves through the open more successfully, and more importantly, set themselves up to recover from the open, because a lot of us at this point, especially with no more regionals, are not going to be moving on to the next level. So I'm not seeing any questions come through, guys. Obviously, I think this one's really straightforward, so I didn't expect a ton of questions. I don't think it's overly complicated, but no need for extra pre-workout carbohydrates. Eat your pre-workout meal an appropriate amount of time prior to the event. Make sure you're adding extra carbohydrate immediately post-workout. No need to add extra fuel to the end of the day. Prioritize recovery. Make sure that the food that you're consuming between Friday and Monday is anti-inflammatory or at least micronutrient dense and does agree with you. Food, like brand new foods, this is not the time to include brand new foods, so use foods that you're used to. And stay hydrated, stay on your supplement regime, and you should be good to go, guys. Like, that's the bare bones, really simple, and I think you guys will crush it. So if there's any questions, obviously this is gonna stay posted on my Facebook feed. Post up the questions, I'll be sure to reply to them over the course of the next 4 days. We're gonna do this every single week. Thursday night, the workout will come out. Thursday night, we're gonna go live. We're gonna post it to you guys on YouTube, and really looking forward to this. So I'll talk to you guys next week.